Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day one of our document control training for beginners. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to have you all here as well. My name is Ejomafu Michael and I'll be your moderator for this session. Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if you can hear me in the chat session. Please let me get a confirmation if you can hear me in the chat session. Please confirm if you can hear me before we continue. Thank you very much, Ediri. Thank you. All right. So you're welcome once again to this document control training day one for beginners. I'm Ejomafu Michael and I'll be the one anchoring the training for these 2 days. So we're truly glad to have you. Kindly let us know your name and location using the comment area. Drop your name and location in the chat session. Let us know where you are chatting or where you are joining us from. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. So before we continue, I would like to give a brief training of what document control is all about, a brief review of what document control is all about. Okay, so this training is specially designed for individuals who are new to document control or you are looking to transition into document control roles within engineering, procurement, construction projects, particularly in the oil and gas industry, as well as other regulated projects environment. So if you want to change a career, you want to come into the oil and gas, you want to be a document controller for projects, you are good to go. This is the best place for you to be. This training is the best place for you to be. Okay, so it's a beginner course. It's more like an introductory course as well. We also have the advanced training for people that are interested. So in today's session, we'll focus on building a strong foundation and we'll be covering the role of a document controller, key document types used on engineering, procurement, and construction projects. Okay, we'll also be looking at basic document numbering and review controls, transmitters, registers, and essential workflows you encounter on real projects. Please, if you are hearing me, kindly comment your name and location in the chat section. Let us know where you are joining us from. Thank you very much. You're all welcome. All right, so I continue. So please note that this is an interactive learning session. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we go along. There will be dedicated moments for questions, answers, and other clarification. So if you have questions as the training is ongoing, you have questions, you have insights, just drop it in the chat session. We're going to take your questions when it's time for question and answers. All right, you're all welcome. So kindly ensure that your microphone is muted to avoid distractions. Unless you are invited to speak, please just mute your microphones. Then also ensure that you stay engaged throughout the session so you don't miss out on any idea or any insights that will be given by our host. Okay, so you take notes as practical insights and real world examples will be shared. All right, so have your notes ready, have your pen ready, jot down for future references. All right, you're welcome. So before we begin, a quick reminder that this is day one and subsequent sessions will build on what you've learned today. Okay, so quickly invite your friends, invite your loved ones to join so they will not be late, so they will not lose out on what you are going to learn today when they join tomorrow. If they can join today, why not call them to join today instead of waiting till tomorrow, so they will not miss out day one, because day one is going to be power packed, full with introduction on document control and the roles of a document controller. All right, thank you very much. I can see your comments in the comment section. Without taking much of our time, it's my pleasure to introduce our facilitator for today's session, a seasoned document control lead and information management professional with hands-on experience across EPC and oil and gas projects. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Ebenezer Esiaye to stage.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome, sir. All right,
Thank
sir, you have
you.
the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Jomafue. Thanks for that wonderful introduction. Yeah. Without wasting time, like she has said, my name is Mr. Ebenezer Esiaye. We'll just go through the outlines and we'll take it off from there. In addition to what she just said, we're looking at principles, from principle to practice in relation to document control. As you may know, like some persons will say, what is document control all about? Now you have the opportunity to know what document control is all about. Document control system benefits organization by enhancing productivity and security and reducing the amount of paper used. This course explains how to use document control practice and software. We establish the importance of a robust document control system and compare it to analog method. We also provide document control strategies, instruments, including the Master Document Register (MDR) and the Document Distribution Matrix (DDM). As we proceed further, you will get to know each of these terminologies as they are being applied on various projects. Next, we'll talk about the fundamentals of document control. This model investigates the approaches and tools used in a document management that boosts workflow efficiency. We explore the life cycle of documents, various document numbering methods, quality assurance control procedures, and the project document control phases. Document control ensures the right document reaches the right person in the right version at the right time. These fundamentals form the backbone of quality, compliance, and project success. At the end of this module, you'll be able to define the terms document, document control system, document identification, revision control, metadata management, workflow, and review cycle documents, distribution and transmitter control, document storage and access, monitoring, reporting, and registers, archiving, and final handover. Here we go. We are not new to the terms analog and digital documents. So we start by defining some of these terms. What is document? A document, as we all know, is an information that a person or group of users may find beneficial. They are both digital and analog forms of this information. Analog and digital documents are stored using different techniques. A paper or analog document can be kept physically in a file cabinet, while a digital or electronic document is preserved in a server as one or more files. Digital documents can also be part of a database. Electronic document management applications deal with electronic document control, preservation, and security. What is document control system? Document control is a set of procedures that guarantee the documents are produced, evaluated, distributed, and discarded in a systematic, veritable method. It is a set of guidelines and instructions that ensure the project team has access to the proper documents, data, and resources. Document changes like project plan, design documentation, or requirements can be managed using document control. It can also be used to control changes to other kinds of files, including codes, photo, videos, and audio files. Document control system. A document control system is a piece of software that track, manage, and store both digital and scanned paper documents. The aim is to make key documents easier to access. Companies may become more organized, store paper more efficiently, and exchange information within the business with the use of a document control system. Software for document control allows you to save all of your documents online on one location. To enhance corporate and access to your information, these technologies typically contain certain features like file sharing, security permission, version control, and checkout. Document control systems are known as document management system. Importance of document control system. A document control system kills advantages that it lowers your regulatory risk. Regulatory breaches are frequently caused by inadequate record keeping. A document control system makes sure that your records are kept appropriately, helping you avoid potentially crippling penalties and enforce proceedings. Additionally, you'll be able to generate the required paperwork to provide compliance swiftly in the event of an audit. One benefit of document control system includes paperless. Companies all over the world spend billions of pounds every year on paper. It includes not only the cost of purchasing paper, but also printing, storing, shredding, and disposing of it. Going paperless can save your business a significant amount of money and make a major contribution to your sustainability effort. Remote activities. Work from anywhere. You can access your files from any location at any time using a cloud-based solution. In contrast to a proper filing cabinet, you can access your most crucial documents without being present in the office. It enables the ability to edit, modify, and supervise a document in real time. Because of such great benefits, remote work is quickly replacing on-site labor. Security and sensitive documents. A locked file cabinet or a spreadsheet with password protection is no longer sufficient protection against security breaches, which pose a major risk to your company and reputation. A document control system, as its name suggests, okay. This indicate that only those who are authorized can access, modified, and remove documents. In other words, when we talk about security here, whoever does not have access to a well-organized document control system cannot access it. That is the beauty of why we have a document control system in place. So with this, for anybody to access it, irrespective of location, you must be granted such an access to go into that domain where you need to access that document. This is where security now comes in. So in other words, it's your document are secured with a good document control system. Then it's also improve efficiency in the sense that it will enable you to work smartly. In terms of document retrieval, with a good document control system, retrieval tends to be very easy. It makes you to track document as at when needed. You don't need to be looking for one key or whatever to go into a cabinet or whatever. But because the person have that access and he is used to that domain, it makes him to work efficiently. So with a twinkle of an eye, once they ask where is such document, you get it as quickly as possible. So that is one of the beauty of good document control system. Is prevent losses. Paper documentation can easily get lost or stolen. Even in a situation of where there is flood, it can easily get lost. But with a good document control system, knowing fully well that it's a centralized system and it's stored in the cloud, you can easily retrieve your document. So with a good document control system in place, it can prevent your documentation from getting lost. So with the few explanation, I just want us to test ourselves to see to know if really we are following with what we've just said in terms of the analog, and get to know which is electronic and digital. I want us to look at these few uh, uh, answers, so that questions and answers, so that we will not know if we are flowing, because we are as we are getting into the section, a lot of questions will be coming to let us know that yeah, we are flowing with the section and we are grabbing what we are saying. Even at the end of this year, I can guarantee you that if you are following, you just need some little efforts. You can begin to tailor your CV to suit this position, and the job is yours. So let's look at this question briefly. I said, a paper or analog document, that is the question. It is preserved in a server as one or more file. It can be kept physically in a file cabinet. So which is the answer to this question here? Hello? Yeah, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Mr. Ebenezer, we can hear you. Some persons are already commenting in the comment section. So I'll be displaying your answers in the comment section on the chat. So I'll display your answers right away. Okay, we got one answer from Ladoke. She said the answer is B. Ladoke says the answer is B.
Okay. The second one, a digital or electronic document, it is preserved in a server as one or more files. It can be kept physically in a cabinet, which is the correct answer.
Okay, so let's go over to the second question. Say a digital or electronic document. What is a digital or electronic document? Give your options, A or B. For the second question, give your options. Okay, I got the option from Okwe, says it's B. And Patience says it's A. The digital or electronic document is A. We're going to give you the answer. We just want you to try your knowledge so far, what you've learned. Okay, so I'm just displaying your responses on the screen.
Okay. So the third one. A document control system is a software that tracks, manages, and stores digital and scanned paper documents. A false, B true.
All right. I hope you can see your responses on the screen. Okay, so let's see the correct answers to your questions. So, Sir Ebenezer, which is the correct answer?
For the first one, the correct answer is B. He said analog. It can be kept physically in a file cabinet.
Oh, sorry, I was speaking. I didn't know I was muted. Okay, some responses are coming in. Let's give you 2 minutes to give your answer. So let's get your responses to this question. So if it's you are answering for question one, just say 1A or B. If you're answering for question two, just say 2A or B. If you're answering for question three, just say 3A or B. All right, so let's go. I'm giving you 2 minutes to do that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good, good, good. Well done, guys. Well done, guys. Please, let's keep the answers coming in. Let's keep the answers coming in. 1 minute more. All right, guys, we are going to give you the correct answers now to see if you are actually right. So, Mr. Ebenezer, have the floor.
Yeah. Thank you, Juma. For the questions, the answer to the first one said a paper or analog document is a physical is physically in a cabinet. So the answer to that question is B. They they mentioned something there. They said analog. So it has nothing to do with server. So the answer to that first question is B. The second question said a digital or electronic document. It is preserved in a server as one or more files. It can be kept physically in a file cabinet. The answer to the number two is A. That word digital and electronic tells us that a digital or electronic document can only be stored in a server. So the answer to the first one is A. Then the third one said a document control system is a software that tracks, manage, and store digital and scanned paper documents. Select the answer, true or false. The answer is B. That is why it is a software. So we'll now move to the next phase of this, the next slide of this training. Now, like I said, if you look at the outline, I did mention the the various areas of document control. For you to have an effective document control system, one, there is what we call document identification. And when we talk about document identification, that means document must be unique and consistently identified using these attributes. That is document number and title, revision, discipline, and document type. It must be identified through the originator. Now, at what level or revision or the reason for the document being issued? Is it for review? Is it for approval? Is it for construction or as built? You might see this as an abbreviation. The IFR there means I is issue, F is for, arrow is for review. The same thing is applicable for the IFA. The I is for issue, F is for, A is for approval. The I for the IFC, I is issue, F is for, C is for construction. Then the AS as built. At this stage, when you want to identify this document during the execution phase of a project, some things that were skipped during the engineering phase of that project that make that document to be issued as IFC. At the execution phase of that project, they now discovered that certain things were missing in trying to execute this documentation at the engineering stage. So those modifications that were included into the document is what they now refer to as built. That is to say, after the engineering phase, because of carrying out the execution, certain aspect of the engineering aspect were omitted. But during the execution, during the installation phase, they were identified. So they will now mark them and generate another document which is called as built. Now, clear identification eliminates confusion and prevents parallel or correct version. So if all of this was done very, very well at the beginning of the project, there won't be any need for as built. So as built will only come when there is a modification to the issue for construction document. Now we'll talk about revision. The art of document control is managing changes Key actions include at the initial stage when the document is issued. When we look at this aspect now, this first revision is when a document is being issued. So we are now referring to the revision control. At the initial stage when the document is being issued, there's what we call issue for review. At that point, this is to enable you to track every revision and history of a document from the beginning to the end of the document. It also enables you to enforce revision rules. In other words, any document that is being reviewed, when you want to go to the next revision, it must indicate why that document is being reviewed, and that rules must be followed. This enables you to maintain superseded versions of documents. Once a document has been superseded at the review stage, with the new revision, now this now replaces the IFR, like when you now have the IFA. So if the first revision is IFR and the second one is IFA, that means you are now superseding the initial one, which is the IFR. So that is exactly the meaning of what that aspect is talking about. Means maintain superseded version. So you have nothing to do with that IFR. Now you are now working with the IFA. There are situations after issuing the IFA, you now go to issue for construction. That issue for construction automatically supersedes the issue for approval. So you cannot work with that issue for approval document any longer. You now work with issue for construction. Ensures only the latest approved version is used at every point in time. With this revision control, if you are in charge, you ensure that for you to execute any job, it's only the approved version of document that is used, because you are the one in charge. So you know at every point in time, you know the current revision of every document to be used aside. So you are typically the custodian of every revision. So people will come to you to ask, where is the latest revision of this document? So where people are working with obsolete revision, you'll be held responsible. And at that point, you have every reason to tell whoever is working with such document to stop that job because it's not working with the right document. Sometimes some persons may even want to place on smart ones. They'll just buy it. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, you will be the one to be responsible. So you must always be in charge. It prevents unauthorized modifications. So people will always come to you because you are the one in charge of this control. People always come to you. So once you are in charge, you take control of this. A wrong revision can lead to rework, delay, cost, overrun, and safety risk. And there are situations whereby some persons may want to place some smart ones, and at the end of the day, if the client discovers such things, it now calls for rework, and it will cause project delay. Not only that, cost will be involved, money, and risk. Metadata. Metadata is a structured data that describe, explain, or provide context for data. Metadata is data about your data, which can help you efficiently search for information in a database or data platform. Taking for example, in a situation where you have a document register, this metadata, it enables you to, if you want to search for a particular document, because you are the custodian of the register, there are keywords you use. These keywords are what is referred to as the metadata to search for a particular document, like the document number, the document title, even if it's a vendor document. So with this metadata, it enables you to track certain kind of document. It also enhances your workflow at a particular stage. It also enhances document approval and reviewer process too. So key dates are also key factor in document management when we talk about metadata. Sometimes persons might want to say at this so date this document was issued. With that date, So long as you have it on that register, which is serving as a metadata, with that date now, you can easily track such document. So the metadata, it enables you to search document, automation, and accurate workflow. Workflow and review cycle. Document must follow a structure and auditable workflow. In other words, from when a document is being created, once a document is created, there's what we call document control quality check. You as a document controller, people will come for you for different things. Templates that is being used to create that document. But as we proceed, we'll talk about templates, because these are the key things that also form part of your document control, good document control system. So for you to create any document, you must have a good template. Document control quality check. So you as a document controller, because you're already given the template, once such document come back to you, you want to now quality check to see if the document template used is the right one for that project. There's what we call internal review. When this is done, the team in question now will now have to review the document internally to see that it meets client requirement. And when all of this is done, then it now means that the document is good to go for further review. And where there is no comment, such document is sent for approval before it is now issued. If it's a project document, once all of these phases are completed, then it can now be issued to the client. So you see that the process is so easy, not because I'm doing it, but it's something that is so easy. But if you follow all of this process, you won't have issue. Document control ensures compliance with procedures, standards, and client requirements, like I said initially. So for all of this to be met, you need to work with the right template, because there are situations whereby if you go out of the template, such document will not be approved. And once it is not approved, meaning you cannot issue it, and it will not call for rework. Distribution and transmitter control. These are some of the areas that we also talk about when we talk about document management system. Document control ensures document reaches the right recipient through distribution matrix. As we continue, I will show us what distribution matrix is all about. There's what we call control transmitter. It's a note, cover note that you use in accompanying every document you want to transmit to a client. Secure EDMS distribution. It's an electronic document management system that also how to do in a situation where you need to distribute document for review. Who is supposed to be in charge of the document, then proper packaging. At the end of all of this, document is properly packaged and sent to the client. This prevents outdated or incorrect information from being used by stakeholders. So when all of these are not taken into consideration, you will now discover that at the end of the day, you are sending an incorrect information. And if the client look at it, it will reject it. And this will also cause delay in the review process. Now we'll talk about document storage and access. Document must be stored in a secured and controlled environment. If you watch, like we did talk about analog and digital, most of the organizations actually are phasing out physical document management, and they are going into this system, EDMS system and document management system, and then web control folder system, structural filing system. And the aim of those is to ensure that at the end of all of this, no file is missing. There will be no duplication. Even if there is duplication, because of the sound document management system that you have, it should be able to indicate that there is a duplication of document number. So these are the key attributes for you to have a good document control system in place. And once you have all of this experience, I tell you, you have no issue. At this point, with a good document control system, access, no unauthorized access. So only people with access can access such documents. Monitoring and monitoring, reporting, and register. For you to have a robust document control system, you must maintain a project-wide register, and this project-wide register includes document register, comment log, transmitter log, MDRO, which is a master document register, then VDRO, vendor document register. There are two differences between these. For the beginning of every project, you must start a project with this MDRO, then progress and KPI reports. This provides full visibility and enable informed decision making. Before we go, I want us to just look at the show us some of these. When we talk about document register, please project document register, so that we have an idea of what document register and document transmitter note is all about. Let's not look at it. I'm just talking. I'm not showing. Let me just this is how a document transmitter look like. So if you look at the top here, for every document that you want to transmit, it must go with this note. Depending on what you want to, you can call it transmitter sheet, either you say transmitter note or transmitter cover. You see on the top left-hand corner, you have the contractor's logo, you have the company logo, which is your client. Then to the company DCC, this is a typical example of what a transmitter note is. It kind of lists all the documents you plan to send out to your client. Then at the bottom, you is sending it, you will have your name at the bottom of it. So this is a typical sample of what a document transmitter is all about. It covers whatever document you want to transmit to your client. So it also helps for tracking. In case if your client is saying that I've not received the document, show me the transmitter in which you use the sending it. With this, you are good to go. You are covered. This is an evidence that it was transmitted with all the details inside it. Go up to the next video. So you can see that is for transmitter. So this is what we call project document distribution matrix. At the beginning of each project, what this does, from this you capture every team member in a particular project. That's why they call it project document distribution matrix. From the various disciplines you have in the team, from administration, procurement, engineering, the various discipline in engineering, who is responsible. So you list all the discipline on the left-hand corner, then who is supposed to review whatever kind of document. If it's an electrical person, the electrical engineer name will be here. If it's mechanical, the mechanical engineer person. So at a particular point in time, when you need to look at this is a mechanical document, who was the person this document was assigned to? So with this, you can track easily. So there won't be any need to be saying, I've not seen it, I've not seen it. As you are sending to that person, the date in which you are sending to that person will be captured. So whoever is reviewing it will be there. So this helps to track every document that is being reviewed internally before it is sent out. Next one. This is what we call the document MDRO. This MDRO is a live document. It captures all the documents that are to be used in a project. It's a live document. Once you get this MDRO wrong from the onset, you will have to do a rework, and it will affect the project. It will cause a lot of issues. So this MDRO tends to track every deliverables that is needed in a project. As the document is being issued from the first revision, issued for review, issued for approval, issued for construction, and as built, all of those feeds and column, they are captured in this MDR. So it's very, very key. At the beginning of each project, this is the first document that you sent out, letting your client know that these are all the documents you want to use for your project. So for any project to start, this is the first document you must send out. I'm saying this because there are times when you go for an interview, they want to ask, what is the meaning of MDR? You just quietly tell them MDR is Master Delivery Register. Then would sometimes you might even ask, at what point do you send your MDR? It's very simple. It's the first document to be transmitted at the beginning of every project. So get this at the back of your mind. It's a life wire of every project. It's a life wire of every project. Very, very important. Irrespective of what we've just talked about the transmitter, this one is very, very powerful. So depending on the project management team, they might say we should be sending it on monthly basis. In other words, as you are updating it on monthly basis, you'll be sending it to your client for review. And if the document that you have sent, if they are not enough, you'll be compelled to add more. At the end of the day, they might even say the document are too much. We don't need some of this. Both the engineering team from your client and your office will come together and expunge some of these documents. So it's a very, very vital document when it comes to project execution. Next one. So having said that, we'll now look at some of this area, talking about archiving and then final document. When with the help of your MDRO now, you should be able to archive which document you want to archive and which of the documents you intend to hand over. And at this handover stage is an agreement between the client and the company to agree on the document that you want to hand over. One of the key documents you must hand over at this stage is as built document. It's so key. It's so key because at this handover stage, when everybody have gone, these are the documents that they will now refer to. You want to carry out one or two maintenance. Then we'll talk about the final data books. These are like manuals. Then the handover package, which also fall into this as built area too. This supports operation, like I said initially. So these documents, they support operations, maintenance, audit, and further project. It's a document that even if you have another project, you can fall back to it at any point in time to make work easy for your organization. So the document archival phase, when all parties involved in the process have finished their tasks and the document has been distributed appropriately, it is useful in the present reduces. As a result, the document lifecycle processing phase of a document frequently ends with ease or audit proof. So, like I said, the document register is very, very key. As you are doing your document handover, it's also part of the things that you also archive in your document management system for reference purpose. Then disposal. Sure, disposal is also one key area that is also important, most especially in areas where paper are being used, even paper and digital documents. So when paper are being used, eventually sometimes the company might decide, let's do away with this document, either by burning or by deletion from that is in a situation whereby you are using electronic document management system. It can be deleted as quickly as possible. So on that aspect of the question, I want us to look at this again. If you are following, you should be able to answer this as they come. How many stages are there in a life cycle of a document? Arrange the following steps in the digital document lifecycle according to their correct sequence. So we've not talked about this, so I know it's to be very difficult for some of us to answer them, but let's go so that would not take most of our time. There are 6 phases involved in the document life cycle, and here these are these phases. So now say arrange the steps in the digital document lifecycle according to their correct sequence. Like I said, if we recall from the beginning, I said the life cycle of a document starts with the creation. The first thing you do in a document, the first thing you do is to create the document. And when the document is created, the next thing is goes for review. After the review, it's either it is rejected or it is accepted. And if it is rejected, it goes back to the originator. Then if it is approved, at that point of approval, the document can now be shared for people to use. And that is where it now comes to being used. After being used, if there is need for the document to be stored, you now archive it for reference purpose. But if there is no need at that point, you now come to disposal. And that is exactly what I was talking about here. So these are the stages involved in the life cycle of a document and the arrangement. So it must follow this order for the cycle to be complete. If it does not follow this order, that means the life cycle of a document is not complete. Document instrument, which was what I've already talked about before. Document control instrument. The document control instruments, they are not different from what I've said before. Master document register and the document distribution metrics. We just probably just for a better clarity, we just get the definition. Said is an inventory list. The master document register, often called the document master index, is a list of all the documents you are in control of, which was what I said earlier. A current MDR is an essential component of any sizable document control environment. It informs you of the type and number of documents stored in your document control system, which is what I said earlier. So a typical MDR will display each document primary identity, which is the attribute of each of the document, which include information, including its number, its title, most recent revision, number, and date the document was issued. So if all of this is embedded into the MDR, it makes the MDR a complete MDR. And once any of these information are not captured, then the document MDR is not recognized, meaning it cannot be used to track whatever document you want to use to track. The master list is to source used to confirm the control of individual documents if the document control system is audited. The MDR is crucial for giving you a list of your documents in a project. So the difference between the MDRO and the DDRO is that one is distribution matrix, while the other one makes the list of all the documents. The distribution matrix shows the disciplined individuals who are responsible for each of the various documents. So the distribution matrix for large organization using EDMS is already built into system and only has to be filled out with participant names and, like I said, the participant name and the document type. I mean, the document data. Document are meaning the document type here. If it's an electrical engineer, it's only the participant name, the electrical engineer name that will reflect, unlike the MDR, the discipline, the discipline engineer's name will not appear on the MDR. But for the DDRO, his name, a DDM, his name will appear there. That is just the difference. One carry the name of the discipline engineer, while the other one carry the list of all the deliverables needed to execute that project. See, for instance, if a department or individual needs to be added to the DDM, the document could need to go through an entirely new review and approval circle all over. In other words, if a new person is coming and need to be added into that review system, into that is taken over from that department, it needs to run through that process all over to know where it has started from, where it is, and where they intend to end it. So that is just the key difference between the MDRO and the DDM. Now, I want to become a document controller. In the time past, there hasn't been any need for document controller, but things are beginning to unveil, especially in the terms of trying to execute projects. They discovered that at the time of maintenance, some key documents might not be there to carry out this operation. So that was what brought about this role of document controllers role, because they've come to see that somebody needs to be in charge. Because at the end of each project, everybody will just, after the project, everybody will go. So there is no proper handover to the clients or the asset management team. So then I said, what do we do to curtail this problem? That was what gave birth to the idea of document controller. And these are some of the roles and responsibility of a document controller. Before now, they are being undermined, but I must tell you, document controllers now, they are hot cake. They are hot cake. They are hot cake. I'm not trying to casual anybody, but it's what I've been doing for the past 20 years. They are hot cake, and I know what I'm saying. The document controller's job is to manage documents to a required degree of reliability for security, revision, visibility, and availability. This is one key area. This is even the major reason for availability purpose. So if there is no security, no revision control, no visibility, there is no need. So this is one of the key areas. Somebody need to be in charge to make sure that there is security, that the proper revision are being kept, that there is availability as at when needed. The responsibility of a document controller may vary with the industry and may depend on the document management methods that is used. So it varies from company to company, depending on what the company is using. And I know for sure, even if you have been engaged as a document controller, with the experience, if you've been using LiveLink in one company before and you are going to another company, they are using a SharePoint, they will surely train you on how to use SharePoint. And because of the experience that you've already gotten with the LiveLink, it will be very easy for you to catch up with the new system that you are going into. It's just for you to have the fundamentals, ideas of what document control is all about. And if you have all of these, then you are good. So they look after a wide range of activities, including facilitation of document flow, assurance of the document, safety, like we said earlier, and security, training and coaching of staff as well. If you go to an example where probably even some companies they will be asking, what is the work of document control? Some places don't, because they don't know, they don't even bother. But they don't know that you hold them. You are the main custodian of the document. So at this time, in some organization, you that is well versed and experienced in it, okay, let's train our staff so that the work will be easy for you. And if you do that, the work tends to be easy in terms of wanting to insert numbers, knowing the current revision, and all of that. So you as the custodian of this role it will make your work to be easy for you. It's very challenging, but when you open up to your engineers that this is how it should be, the work tend to be easy for you. Next time they will not be bringing the document for you to come and insert number. All you need to just coach them what to do at the right time. It continues. Document controller is in charge of receiving, tracking, retrieving, categorizing, disseminating, and archiving documents. By verifying the authenticity of the information regarding the papers and their storage, they protect the integrity of documents and records. Their roles are essential for the process of document quality control. Before the papers are disseminated for use, they are checked for typographical errors, proper template usage, missing component, and other use. Document controllers are expected to track outstanding papers and keep an eye on deadlines for creating and generating periodic document control status reports depending on the document control procedure in place. So you agreed with me that the role is a key role in any organization. It's not limited to only projects. Most organizations now are even trying to see how they can do away with physical management of documents. I think sometime last month or so, I was hearing that by the year 2030, they will be phasing out all physical means of storing documents. Will now be going digital. So for those of us that are having this opportunity to key into this free online training, please take it seriously because I know what I'm saying. So you will not be left out. These are just to test our knowledge based on what we've gone through so far. Thereafter, after this, we'll take some few questions, and I think we want to take some just test our knowledge on these areas. Then we'll take some few questions while we continue. So if I may want to ask, this is question number 6. What computerized spreadsheet programs are excellent for generating document distribution matrix? Which of the following are governing document control instruments?
All right, guys, it's your turn now. Let's get your response to these questions. Let's get your response. Let's just test our knowledge, what we've learned so far. What computerized spreadsheet programs are excellent for generating document distribution matrices? So please, if you know the answer, just type it in the chat. Type the answers in the chat. And the number 7 question says, which of the following are governing document control instruments? Which of the following is a governing document control instrument? So please drop your answers in the comment section or in the chat section. Like we did before, if you're answering for question 6, just type 6 and then the answers. And then if you're doing for question 7, just type 7C. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've gotten one response for question 7. So please, let's get other responses. Thank you, Ladoke. Thank you very much. Let's get other responses. Let's get other responses to these questions. All right. So while we are waiting for your responses, please note that you will also be given the opportunity to come up stage with the host to ask your question live. So if you have questions to ask, just note them down. Note them down. After this session, the link will be posted on the chat session for you to join the host live, and then we'll bring you up stage. You ask your question live, okay? But if you don't want to do that, you feel the chat session is okay for you, just type your questions in the chat sessions, and the host, the facilitator, Mr. Ebenezer, will also take them and respond to them. All right. So let's get your responses. Thank you very much. Ovaje Esther, you said C, document control metrics. So which of the following are governing document control instruments? And Ovaje Esther said is C. And then we also got a response from Ruth Motiga. Ruth Motiga also said B and C. Wow, B and C. All right. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. What about the answer to question C? Everybody is dodging the question C. What's happening? Let's get answer to question 6. Who is responding for question 6? Question 6, please, let's get the answers to the response to question 6. Everybody is just going for question 7. What's happening? Question 6. We want responses for question 6. Question 6. Let's get your responses for question 6. Okay, I'll be displaying the answers from question 7 as people are bringing them in. But let's get your response for question 6. That's very important. If not, we'll not go home today. That's on a lighter note anyway. So let's just get your answers for question 6. But if you don't, we are going to still give you the responses to the answer to question 6. All right, the answer to question 6. Irogene Esiaye answered question 7, said B and C. Okay, Nixie Patience said B and C. All right, everybody's just going for question 7. Let's go for question 6. Let's go for question 6. Question 6. All right, all right. Let's give in. Okay, somebody said question 6. Question 6. Somebody said Excel. Makimo said Excel. I mean, I meant Microsoft Excel, the spreadsheet. What computerized spreadsheet programmers? What computerized spreadsheet programmers are excellent for generating document distribution metrics? Wow, thank you very much, Makimo. And somebody also gave us a response, King Murphy. King Murphy said document distribution matrices, answering for question 6, document distribution matrices. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Ladoke says spreadsheet, yes, that's okay. Spreadsheet for question 6, response to question 6. And Esther, anyway, Esther said Excel spreadsheet. Wow, thank you all very much. Wonderful responses. Thank you all very much. Courageous and wonderful responses. Thank you. So, shortly we'll be going to the correct answer session. Let's see if you are right or wrong. Let's see if you are right or wrong. So, let's bring up again Mr. Ebenezer is here to give us the correct answers to these questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jamal. Yeah, I can see that a lot of persons were omitting question 6. But the answer to it is so simple, just some few persons were able to get it right. So the answer to question 6 is Excel. For those that chooses Excel as the so the answer to question 7 is B and C. It's B and C. If you observe very well in all of the discussion, we've not even made mention of memory address register. We've not made mention of memory preferred register. The question says, which of the following are governing document control instruments? We mentioned document distribution matrix and master document register, which is MDR. So we'll move forward. Let's
All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your responses. And I hope we all had a nice time today looking at these questions and also from the knowledge that has been delivered by Mr. Ebenezer Isaiah. And I hope we all understood what he explained so far. So far. So, like I earlier mentioned, if you have your questions ready, if you have your questions, let's have them in the chat session. If you have your questions, let's have them in the chat session. And if you want, I'm going to post or paste the link in the chat session where you can come up live to ask your question. Let's hear your voice. So I'm going to post the link now so you can join us and then you'll be given the opportunity to ask your question. All right, guys. Well, those of us that also joined late, when we started, we said you should drop your name and location where you're joining this training from. So you can also do that if you've not done that. Just drop your name and location. We want to know where you are joining from. All right. The link to ask your questions live has been pasted in the chat session. So you can click on that link. If I see you that you're trying to ask your question live, I'll bring you up stage. Then you can ask your questions. All right. So you can click on the link and then you come up stage to ask your question. Thank you. Annabelle Boss says she's joining from Worry. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Edric King said, can the presentation slides be shared with participants? No, for now. No, for now. But you can go back to the YouTube link and watch and rewatch the session. Okay, the session will still be on the YouTube. You can go and join and rewatch it from there. Okay. Ekene said he's joining from Ugeli. That's Delta State, Nigeria. Ugeli. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Golden Christian joining from Lagos. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm still waiting for you guys to come up live to ask your questions. Ask your questions. Sobore Sam said he's joining from Warri. Tubore Sam said he's joining from Ori. All right. So just click on the link as you can see on the screen. Click on the link and you'll be given an opportunity to join us live on stage. We'll bring you up stage. You ask your question. We want to hear your voice, as a matter of fact. We want to hear your voice. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Who is going to be the first? Let's hear your voice. Okay, even if it's not a question you want to ask, you want to say something, you want to add to what Mr. Ebenezer have said, let's hear your voice. Let's hear your voice. So anybody can talk, whether you have question or not, or whether it's a question or not. Just say something. We want to hear your voice. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you all. Oh wow, we're not getting any questions. That means Mr. Ebenezer did a very good job. A very good delivery. So it means we all understood from A to Z what has been explained so far. Wow. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But while the session is still going on, if you have any question, please don't fail to put it in the comment sheet and in the chat box or in the comment box. Okay, we'll also take it. So I'll bring up Mr. Ebenezer to continue on the training. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Juma. Ordinarily, we have about 62 slides. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. If we say we'll continue today, it will look very boring to some other persons. You know, sitting for a long time, it tends to want to Okay, just to be sure, does the document have its own template to be used, and does it depend on the company issuing the project? Yeah.
Okay, there's a question on the screen from a CIA. He said, just to be sure, does a document have its own template to be used? And does it depend on the company issuing the project? Ebenezer, that's for you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you. That is a very smart question. I I actually wanted to leave this area for tomorrow, but since you've asked, I think I just need to say it. Sure, each company have their own document template. In as much as they have their own document template, each company also have their own document template too for projects. So if a client is giving you is awarding you a project, it's expected that you work with their template, not you, the contractor, working with your own template. So at the beginning of the project, they will issue their template to you to use, irrespective of the template that you already have. So the information probably that you have on your company template cannot be transferred into your client template to meet up, so long as it meets up the requirements that is needed on the project scope. All you just need to just transfer the information to the company template. So companies issue their templates, and companies also have their own template. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer, for the response. Do we have any more questions? Okay, Mr. Ebenezer, I guess you can continue with what you were saying before that question popped in. But meanwhile, I'm going to display the link for you to join us upstage and ask your question live. Okay, when Mr. Ebenezer is going on. Okay, there's another question. Okay, there's another question from Obeje Esther. He said, how do someone generate the file for MDR? How does someone generate the file for MDR? Mr. Benita, that's for you.
Yeah, when the contract is issued, the contract document is shared within the project team. So from that contract document, each of the discipline engineer will now pick out their deliverables as is stated on the scope of the project. That is from the contract scope that you will now generate the files to make up for the MDR. The client will give you all that is needed, is stated in the contract document, all the deliverables that is needed to execute the job. So it's from the contract scope that you will now pick the files to build your MDR.
All right, so Beji Esther, I guess that answered your question. Sorry, guys, somebody just commented that the link I displayed earlier is not working. Okay, so I've updated the link and sent and posted on the live session. So you can click on the link that is currently on the live session to join us live. So you can click on the link now. Click on the link to join us live. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much. If you still have questions, let's have them in the chat session.
Yeah.
Let's have your questions in the chat session while
Joe.
Mr. Ebenezer tries to
Yes.
recap on what have been done today so far.
Yeah. In addition to this last question, let me make it clear. It's not the duty of the document controller to populate the MDR. Populating of the MDR is strictly the work of the project engineer. So once he populates the MDR with all the deliverables that are needed for the project, he now forwards it to to the document controller who now assign numbers to those deliverables. So in a situation whereby the project engineer will now say it's your duty, you just need to let him know. It's the project engineer that will populate the MDR looking at the scope of the project. Yours is to assign number.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. We have Joy Johnson on stage to ask a question. So, Joy Johnson, please, let's get your question. You're upstage. Let's get your question. Joy Johnson, you're muted.
Sorry, I just came in. I just logged in just now.
Okay, you didn't join in to ask a question, right?
No, no, I didn't. I just joined in.
Oh, okay. You actually joined in late. We are rounding up for today. This is a question and answer session, but you can still be on. You can still be on. So I'm going to remove you from stage now. Then you join with the YouTube link that was earlier sent and listen to other questions. So I guess you can go back and watch the video and then you join tomorrow to follow up with what was covered today. Would that be okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, while we are waiting for more questions, somebody asked a question. I can't pronounce your name because it's mixed with figures and symbols. Okay, he said, as a document controller, is it just a say that's our working tool? Mr. Ebenezer, that's for you. As a document controller, is it just a say that's our working tool?
No, you have EDMS. You can even work with Word document, your Word application Word. The two tools there, like I said, is the MDRO and your master the document and deliverable matrix, DDM and MDRO. These are the recognized tools to work, and they are driven by SA.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. So, Fego, yeah, you've clarified your name. Fego, I guess that answered your question. So, there are other tools. It's not just Microsoft Excel, okay? You have other tools. So, depending on what you want to do, other tools are introduced for you to achieve your desired results in the project. Okay, while we wait for other questions, please, Mr. Ebenezer, I would like you to just recap because some persons joined halfway, some persons are even just joining now. So please, can you just recap on what is document control all about? Why are we even learning this? What's the need? What's the use? Please, let's just get a quick recap. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Just to recap, before I go on the recap, after this recap, we are stopping here. Then tomorrow we'll continue from document numbering, which is one key area of our document control process. So I want every one of us to join as quickly as possible and ensure that your network is strong for you to be part of this aspect. Now, just a quick recap. At the beginning, the I talked about document control, document itself, document management system, and how the process runs. So we just look at, let me just do a quick one by taking us back and just probably make one or two explanations, and we are done for the day. Now, first, if we look at the outline, let's start with the outline for this program.
All right, Mr. Ebenezer, while you are at it, some persons are asking other questions, and these questions are being displayed on the screen. So you can just read the
Okay.
question on the screen and respond.
Yeah, like I said, other tools used for document control and creation, we have the EDMS, Electronic Document Management System. It's a system that you use to control documents within an organization. There are different kinds of EDMS. There are different types depending on what the company wants to work with. But if you want to look at the manual ones, we talk about the Excel. But for a company to want to go into a document control system that is very robust and meet its needs, we talk about electronic document management system. It's a kind of software that is being either being developed or procured. There are different types depending on the one you want to use to manage your system. There are different types. Electronic document management system, yes. EDMS. Yeah, just a quick recap on what we talked about. It's not different from what you see. We talked about in 10, we started by defining what document is, what document control is all about. This is document control system, which I just talked about now. EDMS, there are different kinds of EDMS to be used. How to identify documents, the key attributes that you use to identify documents. And look, I'm talking about the key attributes to identify a document. We talk about the document title, the document type, the document number, the revision, and the date. So these are some of the things we talked about, just to make a quick recap of what this training is all about. We also talk about revision control. Revision control has to do with where document is being originated, that is from creation, from the beginning of the creation of the document to when it gets to when it's going to be used to execute a particular job, and until when it gets to the as built phase of a project. So when you talk about revision control, it's talking from, depending on the company, some company decide to use RO1, so might use AO1 depending on their taxonomy or what they want to adopt for at that project. Some might even decide to use only numbers, revision 1, revision 2, as the case may be. So that is where the revision control now comes in. So when we talk about the metadata management, it talks about key attributes that you use to track certain documents. When you also refer to the document identification, in other words, when we talk about dates, in a situation whereby you have a large volume of documents and you want to look for a certain document, there are key attributes that you may want to use to locate a particular document. That key attribute is what is referred to as metadata. If, for example, if you want to look for an electrical document where you have a large database of all the disciplines, there's a key attribute that you want to use: electrical and civil. For civil, it is CL, depending on what the company want to recognize. For electrical is EL, AE. So it depends. Some company use EL, while some use AE. Some, even for corrosion, some may use CO. Depending on what the project team decide to use at that particular point in time. So that particular key attribute is what they refer to as metadata, that can enable you to track certain document as quickly as possible. We also went further to talk about document distribution, which also talk about the division matrix. It's where you have the DDM, document distribution matrix, which are to do with the various discipline that is assigned to a particular area of the documentation. Because we have, we take for example the electrical, mechanical, civil. So the document distribution matrix tend to track all of the disciplines and who is responsible for a particular discipline at that point in time. We also talk about document and transmitter. I also went further to talk about the situation whereby having making a list of documents that you want to send to your client, there's a possibility that you want to send the document. So the documents that transmitter control, it has to do with a cover document transmitter that enlists all the documents you intend to transmit at that particular time. The idea of that document transmitter is to is for evidence sake that at a certain point in time this document was transmitted. We have seen a situation whereby when you transmit documents, some persons will tell you that you didn't see the document. So what is the proof? You bring out your document transmitter. That is the transmitter control. That is the proof, the evidence that at this point in time this document was transmitted. So if you say you don't see the document, probably it's either you have an issue with your in-house document management system or something went wrong. So at that point in time, with your transmitter control, you can confidently say that this is what I use in transmitting the document. They also went further to talk about document storage. Gone are those days that we used to store documents in a cabin. But at this point in time now, we are using electronic digital management system where most documents are stored in the cloud. And for persons to be able to access such document, there's what we call security. Access is granted to each person. Not just everybody can just go there and access such document. So when the document are stored in a restricted area, for you to have an access, you must be granted such an access with your company approved email address. We also talk about monitoring. So monitoring comes in when people are not using the right template. At the point in time, like somebody asks, when if a client gives you a template to use for a particular project, that means your own company template, you have to put it aside. You have to work with the company template. So at that point, monitoring now comes in to see that if you are really complying with the template that is given to you. We also talk about reporting. At the project phase, it's expected that every week you must report your progress work on project and document deliverables. Sometimes you even have meetings to discuss on project review documents. At this point in time, each person need to know where they are lagging or if they are lagging behind or they are progressing. So reporting is very, very important in driving project. Very, very important. So that the entire project management team will know that whether they are progressing or not. Then we also went further to talk about register. Like I said, we have different type of registers. We have the master document register. We have the document deliverable metrics. There are, in some cases, you might even generate your own register, document review register. This enables you to know which document have been sent out for review. It captures the date, who is responsible for this document, has it been returned. You also have a timeline for showing that this document is overdue. So that one is just on personal basis. So you develop such a register to track which document has been reviewed and the delay. We also went further to talk about the document disposal, archiving, and handover. At this point in time, at the end of each project, it's expected that you will hand over certain documents to your clients, and you also keep part of the document in your archive for reference and future documentation. If need be that you are having a similar project to run, instead of going to generate a document afresh, you just fall back to your archive and look out for similar document that you have used in a similar project elsewhere. So you just fall back to your archive and make reference to such document and fetch out such information. We also talk about uh, document disposal. This is very, very common with areas where you need to uh, dispose most of the hard copies of documents. Even electronic documents, sometimes they are being disposed when they are no more needed, like you delete them from the system. So these are just a quick recap of what we've talked about. So by tomorrow, we shall be looking at document numbering, its importance, and even template. So I just hope by tomorrow we get a clear understanding as we deep dive into it properly. So, like I said, it's just with all of this, I want to believe that at the end of this training, just start tailoring your CV to reflect that you have been doing this job before. If for any serious minded person with what we have done, should be able to have these are just the basic understanding. These are basic understanding. So by the time we go to the second phase of the section tomorrow, you get to understand what the entire process is all about. So it's not a responsibility. I mean, a rule that you just look at is not worth it. It's very key as the industry is concerned. And though I must say it's not limited to only the oil and gas sector. It covers all arm of operation. Even in the medical field, a document controller is needed. In every aspect of work, document controller is needed. So just get yourself abreast with the requirement. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer. Thank you very much. Wonderful delivery. Wonderful delivery. Mr. Francis, you said you have a question. Please, let's have that question in the chat session. Please ask your question in the chat session. It will be displayed and answered. So for those of us that joined late, please note that you can rewatch this video on the YouTube channel at Fem Technologies. You can rewatch the video on the YouTube channel. So you can subscribe or turn your notification bells for tomorrow's class. Tomorrow we're also starting by 3 p.m. on the dot. We're starting 3 p.m. on the dot. So you can invite your friends, invite your loved ones, invite your family members, and let them join you in learning this skill. Let them join you in learning this career role. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all so much. Okay, so we'll be rounding up or drawing the curtain for today. So I wish you all a good evening. Do have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. We did put it.